Hoi.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm fine. I was just putting off the radio.
Yeah, that's good. Good. We don't want the loop to kick in, which has happened on a couple of occasions. Let me assure you. So anyway, Marianne, how are you? And where we're actually calling from this evening?
Well, I'm fine. I'm here in my own studio, so I'm trying to record this, and we'll put this on my website if you're okay with that.
Yeah, of course you can. No. So there's always the podcast is always available on Aurovine.com as well. So you've got the best of both worlds.
Okay, that's great.
So you can take your own copy and mix and match with whatever you want to do. So you can use that as a promo. That's great. Also, can I introduce you to Ken? I don't know whether you've spoken before. This is Ken Foster, who runs Aurovine. Do you know Ken?
Hi, Marianne.
Hi, Ken. Well, we had some email contact, so yes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I was just saying to Dave about that first track. There was a bit of your voice does have a Kate Bush kind of feel to it.
Yeah, I know. People say that more, but I used to sound mix Kate Bush back in the days, you know. So when I was very young.
I read that you'd been a radio DJ yourself. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Here on local radio, I had a news show and a culture show. So I did the local bands and also the local news, and had two shows in the week.
And I also noticed when I was listening through your catalogue that you've had quite a marked shift, haven't you? Because you were the first or second album was kind of more a pop electronic feel to it.
Yeah.
And then obviously the later stuff's more kind of rock progressive based.
Yeah, that's true. And it was a decision because my voice changed. Like earlier it was more the high pitched Kate Bush sound. Mm-hmm. And when you grow older, and I used to be a very bad smoker. I quit now, but you hear it on the voice. So then the rock metal was better suited for my voice, I think, than dance pop things.
Yeah, of course.
But I still like to make some dance, like hobby. When I'm just bored and want to play around, I just mix a little bit. But there's only the improvisations I have laying around here because I have so much songs I made, and so the new stuff, the new album that I'm working on now will also be rock, metal, progressive, but the old stuff is still there too, So I'm a bit in two worlds.
So what's it like over there at the moment? What's it like for an independent artist in the Netherlands?
Yeah, well, I can only speak for myself, but it's a really do-it-yourself thing. It's I think like most musicians right now, record companies are going down or not taking people, so you're just thrown back on yourself and. So yeah, it's a like 24-hour job, and you're wearing 1,000 hats, and you got to do everything yourself. I mean, so you got to stay updated with what's going on in the music industry, and Well,
I've noticed you're very active on the social media and website, and you're always doing stuff and connecting with your fans. Do you think that's kind of an essential part of being an artist these days, isn't it?
Yes, it truly is. Yeah. So, like I said, sometimes it's like wearing 1,000 hats, and but I do have a very good street team, and I know the girls are listening, Lucy and Marika, and we also made a new video clip together for the new single that I just released on iTunes. So
maybe Dave will be able to play that.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, we'll pick up on that one. Lucy's actually in the chat room with us at the moment. Lucy Lestrange.
Yeah.
With us, so she's already said hello.
Okay.
So I did wonder what she meant by street teamer, but thank you for putting me in the know there, Marianne.
Okay. Well, she's helping me out, and it's great because, like I said, it's too much. If you want to grow bigger, it's too much for one person. And yeah, I still want to make music, and not only be the whole day marketing and promoting myself and just yapping around, buy my record. I mean, hey.
That's the way it is at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the way it is. But
everybody's we've spoken to, and we're really lucky on this show. It's very sort of new, but what we're doing is because of the way Aurovine is, and it's everything online is digital and global, isn't it? So we're talking to people in Portugal, we're talking to people in Canada, over in the States, and now the Netherlands, and it's such a small world now. We ask the similar questions, but the answers are very similar in how it's working. So it's very, very, very interesting to hear what you have to say about the industry. But it is the same for everyone, and do it yourself is very much where it's at.
Maybe something. There's a publicity company in the States called Aerial Publicity. You might have heard of them, run by a lady called Ariel Hyatt.
I get her emails. I mean, like
she
with tips.
I was going to say she seems to be very on a similar kind of on the same page as you in terms of publicity. So it might be that going forward you could maybe write your own guides about how to market yourself, because you've obviously got it right yourself. Maybe you don't want another string to your bow, though. It sounds like you've got a lot going on already.
Mm-hmm. I do. I got a lot on my plate. So maybe in the future, but for now, it's like, okay, the new album is coming up, so I have to mix it. And I'm still figuring out Pro Tools, because I just got my new studio and new gear here. So, and I do have a new sound engineer, Tom, and he's helping me out too. And like I said, I'm just producing myself, and that's a hard job. I mean, so
absolutely.
Yeah.
Pro Tools is such a great. It is fairly difficult to learn, but it's such a great piece of software. So, and I think you can get a really professional sound. Well, it's a professional piece of software, so it's most of the top studios have it. So that's where to go.
If you know Pro Tools, you're in the know. You generally slip into any studio. That's what they use. But let's take it. But you're obviously doing a lot. Like you say, you're wearing 1,000 hats.
Yeah.
You've got your street teamers who are very, very keen, which is always good. Obviously, for them to be around, they must believe in what you do. But let's take this back a little bit, Marianne, because there's a lot of information flying around here that from what I've read and what we're talking about. Where did it all begin for you? Were you a producer? Were you a singer? Were you a radio? Where did it all start for you that said, this is where I want to go?
Well, actually, it started with Kate Bush. Then back in the days, I mean, when she came into the chart, and I was a real fan, and I saw what she did, with the live stuff and the theatrical thing, and so that was my big inspiration. What I wanted. I mean, I wanted to dance like her, and I was doing modern ballet in those days, and. So I also was a cover singer. My first band was a country band, and after that I got an experimental band, and a lot of cover bands, and so I was an all-round singer for most of the time. And I was studying English. Next to that, I was becoming a teacher, and so a lot of things doing. But Kate Bush was my first, let me say, teacher, or
inspiration.
And so after that, the Four Non Blondes came in the chart with What's Up, and so that was more like earthly, other kind of rock music, like more punk pop, or so that was all inspiration, and I was playing guitar and I was singing and for myself, and already at 16 I was beginning to make songs. And perform little gigs, little things, and so yeah, and with bands, I've performed a lot with bands, and later on I was solo singer, like just the top 100 rock and soul, and like I said, all round singing everywhere in the Netherlands, in Belgium, Spain, everywhere where they wanted me. I was just going around, and I had a manager back in those days, and well, yeah. And then I was also doing a management how do you say management
course?
study. It was a year, because I didn't get a real job, and because it was difficult back in the days, and now it's difficult again. So my heart is with the young girls and boys who cannot get a job right now, because I've been in that situation. And so for me it was always music, what I wanted to do, and it's like it grew on me, and like I said, I was a radio DJ in between, you know, like I had shows and yeah, doing lots of things. But in the main thing was music, cover bands, just doing the thing, performing. Last year I was with Kink FM here in Amsterdam, in Paradiso. I performed with my own music. So I would love to have a band again, but I'm here in the north of the Netherlands, and most good people are already in 5 or 4 great bands, professional. So
the Paradiso is one of the main venues. Well, it's the one I know in Amsterdam. It's quite a big one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an old one and a big one. Everybody wants to perform there. If you perform there, you're somebody. I mean, so that was great to be there. Yeah, and also my fans. Like they voted for me to do this interview with you guys. I mean, they also voted me with Kink FM to Paradiso. So it's great, and they're standing behind me, and yeah, it's really super. Thank you, everybody.
Well, you've got your chance to thank them. We're going to play a track quickly now while you're on the air.
Yeah.
This is one of the ones we've picked out for you. We like. We're going to play your single later.
Okay.
Well, this is called the first one. Before we get to that, we're going to play this one for everyone who's listening, and this is "Baby Come Here." And we'll talk about this when we come back.
Okay.
There you go, guys. Cozmicsoulfire. That's Marianne who's talking with us, and this is a track from her catalogue called "Baby Come Here."
Baby, come here in my garden. Watch the stars, feel the grass. Home is where the heart is. I love you so much. Oh, I can feel you. Through oceans in between, your spirit touches me. Baby, come, baby, come, baby, come, come here. Baby, come, baby, come, baby, come, come here. Baby, come in my garden. Come. I know you feel it too. We are thunder, but without the rain, we are one in mind, one in time, defeating monsters. I wanna feel you, that's all I need to do. Look into your eyes, know you know it too. This was made in heaven. I wanna rock you. You know I do. Baby, come here. Baby, come, baby, come, baby, come here. Baby, come in my garden. Come. The future belongs to us. We'll live in beauty of the dreams. Find the way of the wizard and let magic lead us. Baby, come, baby, come, baby, come, come here. Baby, I wanna rock you, you know it's all I want. Touch you. I just wanna rock you. Baby come, baby come, baby come, come here.
Breaking boundaries, stepping outside the box. Prepare for a new kind of digital station. This is Globe Geek Radio.
Yes, indeed, and we are live on air with Marianne Vedder, who is Cosmic Soulfire this evening. You are listening to the Unsigned and Independent show on Globe Geek Radio in association with Aurovine.com. That was actually a bit longer than normal, so I had to take 2 breaths for that one. That was quite loud. But Marianne, are you still with us?
Yeah, of course.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very, very good track there. Very, very emotional track there. I was just reading through some of the profile you sent through, the biography you've sent through. You've mentioned obviously Kate Bush, who's a big influence for you, and Linda Perry, who you mentioned from the Four Non Blondes, is somebody who's heavily influenced you in your career.
Yeah, absolutely.
What she's done on the production side as well. So you've got to Kate as well for the sort of performance side. Linda, who's obviously on the production side. Somebody such as yourself who's taking on all these different roles and really trying to push it forward from a DIY perspective. And who else out there it's not. There's a lot of female artists, but there's not these female songwriters doing what you're doing at the moment, are there? Who else is influencing you, or who else are you looking up to for inspiration?
Well, yeah, of course, a lot of women like Hart and Nancy Wilson. Yeah, Patti Smith. I mean, Joni Mitchell, Carole King, of course. I mean, the good singer-songwriters. But also Michael Akerfield from Opeth.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and the guys from Apocalyptica. And recently, I'm very smitten with the singer from Shinedown, of Shinedown, the band.
Yeah.
So, Saliva too. I mean, yeah, guys too. I mean, it's not only women.
No, of course.
Do you see your sound going more towards the Opeth style of music than Marianne?
Yeah, I wish. I mean, they're very. It's very difficult to put music together like the way I'm working. Do you have a band, or do you bring in session musicians? No. I'm doing it all myself. So I'm sampling, I'm playing things in, and making loops, and also using existing samples like drums from Scott Rockenfield. I have from Big Fish Audio. Like that. The good. And then you just chop it up and make your own drum samples, or just because it has such a great sound, I mean, you also have to be having a current sound, I mean, back in the days, I said I was having an 80s sound, with my pop dance kind of songs. I played it all in with keyboard and also Atari, and but. Yeah, this is 2012, and I want to sound like 2012. So I'm investing in my music, and yeah, so that's.
Do you like when you played at the Paradiso? Did you use backing tracks, or did you have a band?
No, I use backing tracks I made myself from my music. I would love to have a band, and I used to have my own band, but it's quite difficult here in the north. Like I said, most people, the good people. The professional ones already have 4 or 5 bands, and and most of the times it's also said like that they don't want to play my song like it's a cover or something,
Yeah.
So I'm still looking around for the right people.
So okay, well, interesting. We had some of the guys, like I say, we've spoken to different bands and different artists on Aurovine from all over the world. And one of the most interesting one that we've come across, I don't know whether you caught the show, we were talking to a guy from Porto who's known as Expect. That's his stage name. Is Bruno, also known as Bruno, and just a young man who's very much a very talented young man who's into the prog scene, into the prog rock kind of scene.
Yeah.
And he's got his own solo project, and he's got his own songs, and he's got his own sort of profile on the site. But he's also on there with under a different name called the Bedlam Kids, which is a separate project. Very much still him doing the music, very much how you're doing it. It's all sort of all DIY, all done yourself, and all produced by himself. But he's sending it over the tracks to a guy in Chicago, who's then recording vocals on that track and then sending it back to be bounced again and maybe a bit more. And then, but they've never met. There's still this is a sort of cross-Atlantic type project that they're putting together, and they're also releasing tracks on Aurovine as well. So maybe there's somebody, if you peruse through the site and you come across somebody who's going to fit in with you.
Yeah, I already been there with some guys. A friend from England, sent me his song, and I was singing on his song, and he played a bass for me, and another guy who used to be in my band, Weirdo. He did the bass on the Poison album, one track, Baby Baby, and so yeah, I'm looking around for good people to work with. Lucy, who is is also a bass player. So maybe in the future we're gonna play together, like acoustic sets. Me on guitar and she on bass. So
sounds good.
Yeah, so we're just planning or just thinking about doing things like that. So yeah, but I also like to be more the producing stuff and do it all by myself. It's great to have a challenge.
Well, it sounds great, and you're doing a very, very good job. But keep looking for that. I don't know, the magic between different people coming together.
Yeah, absolutely. That's of course. I mean, that's why I'm looking around here for people to form a band again. But yeah.
What's the target date for the new album then, Marianne?
I think April.
April, yeah. So working on it over Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. I've made 18 songs right now, and so I have to choose, and also which way I want to go with the new album. Do I want it more mellow, or do I want to go more like the metal thing? It's like which side I'm going. I'm not sure right now. I have 6 songs that I'm completely positive of, and they're also in demo form, on Reverb Nation and on MySpace, and people can listen to that. And but yeah, I want it to be good, and like I said, I'm still learning my Pro Tools program too.
Yeah.
And I'm following workshops that Avid is giving, like with Tony Masseretti. You can just watch the videos and they send them to you. So how Pro Tools works and the producing stuff, and of course, every shred of thing Linda does on the internet. She giving master classes on SCAP. I mean, I follow that through YouTube or. And just pick up all the shreds of information she's giving about producing. And
There's some good videos on YouTube for Pro Tools, isn't there?
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff. Brilliant. Okay, that's fantastic. Well, like I say, this is a show that always gets a podcast, so we'll be putting the podcast with all your information up there as well, Marianne.
That's great.
Which you have loads of, which is fantastic. From a marketing perspective, I'm very impressed as well with the number of sites and social networks you're involved with.
Thank you.
It must be a full-time job in itself.
It is, yeah.
Lucy, hope to hear from you and Marianne soon with your bass and acoustic tracks. Maybe that would be good.
Yeah, maybe next year somewhere. I mean, we still have to start. I mean, it's only an idea.
Yeah, mid to long term project.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of which, though, Lucy did prompt me with this one. In terms of you've got the album coming, obviously in April. What is in the future for you, Marianne? What are you looking for in the next 12 months?
Well, actually going on this road and growing bigger, the fan base, and maybe getting more gigs. I mean, I have one gig here in the Netherlands, in Utrecht, 16 December. And that's also like, you know, the single release thing. Little party. And but that's it for this year. And then next year, I really hope to get more gigs. And hopefully form a new band again, find the right people, and but most of all, first finish the album and promote it, and all the things that come with that, and maybe think about some merchandising stuff too. I mean, I have a great logo, so I would love to see that on T-shirts and hoodies, and sell that to the people who want to have it.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's merchandise is quite good at quite popular at gigs these days.
Yeah, especially because people want for you to give your music away, and then you do a concert, and you earn money from that. I mean, like I said, the industry has changed. So
Craig West from Machine's Dream over in Canada was telling us that at one of the gigs they did, they gave the CDs away free, but asked people to buy a T-shirt as thanks.
Yeah. Exactly. That's the way it goes these days. But I'm really happy with Aurovine, and the payout is bigger than on iTunes or you know. I mean, you still have to have iTunes, of course. Otherwise you don't count as an artist. I mean, it's stupid, but it's the way it is. If you're not on iTunes or Spotify, I mean, but people listen to you on Spotify, and then they don't buy your album. But if they do, I hope they buy it on Aurovine, so I get more of the splits, you know.
Yeah, well, we're still growing. We've still only been going 6 months, and I think the bigger it gets and the more marketing we do, you know, hopefully the more people visit the site.
Absolutely, building a community, and it's getting bigger every day, so all going in the right direction. Thanks to you.
Oh, yeah, thanks to you. I mean, it's great.
Fantastic. Okay, we're going to play one last track to finish off with now. This is your new single. Is this a single? Is this sort of a separate single, or is this part of the new album?
No, it's part of the new album.
Fantastic. I can do it. Any particular story attached to this? Where was the inspiration?
Not really. It's like, okay, I've been in this divorce, and you know, and I've been alone for some time, and I had to build up. I mean, the universal things I think a lot of people have to go through. So I wanted to write a song that's about that. I mean, getting back on your feet again, and just a simple song. I mean, that everybody can hum, you know. I mean,
good. It's very, very good indeed. So I'm going to play that for you now. Thank you very much for speaking with us.
Well, thank you too.
All the best in the new year for you as well.
Yeah, for you too, guys. I mean, I hope Aurovine grows big. I mean, and Globe Radio too, of course. Need a DJ. I mean, hey.
Absolutely.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah. I know. We would be great.
Okay. Thank you very much, Marianne, and thank you, Lucy, in the chat room. We'll hope to speak with you very, very soon, certainly with whatever new projects you come up with.
Okay.
But this is the new
single. Guys.
This is Cozmicsoulfire and I Can Do It Now, available on Aurovine and all good online distribution models.
Yes, sir. Thank you.